Hi, Mohammed. Hi, Taryn.
For a month after he arrived to San Diego, Mohammed Abdullah says he lived in 2 motel rooms with his wife and 6 kids. He says he grew tired of it.
Our stay at the hotel became long. There was no choice for the organization, and we just wanted to leave but didn't know where to go.
The organization is the International Rescue Committee in San Diego. He says the IRC staff placed his Syrian family of 8 in the motel while they searched for a permanent place. The IRC is a local resettlement agency that uses federal funds to cover housing and other needs for up to 3 months after refugees arrive in the U.S. Abdullah says it took 35 days to find him an affordable 2-bedroom in El Cajon. He says he was happy with the space, but just before Abdullah went to sign the lease, he claims an IRC staffer stopped him and said not to show his family's U.S. government papers. The documents provided to KPBS identify all 8 members of his family by name, date of birth, and photo. But a review of his lease shows not all of them were listed on the rental document.
She told us not to show the IDs because we didn't register your full family. We registered 6 people, not 8.
He says the IRC staffer told him it was cheaper this way. But the move could also be breaking landlord rules and goes against federal occupancy guidelines that the IRC has said it follows. The government recommends 2 people per bedroom plus 2 additional occupants. That means only 6 people in a 2-bedroom. A family of 8 should be in a 3-bedroom. Abdullah signed the lease that lacked 2 of his children's names. The document says any occupants not disclosed could be considered a material violation.
At any moment, any minute, they can kick us out because of this lie. This is a serious matter.
A 5-month KPBS investigation found other refugee families living with more people in their apartment than appear on their lease, which is a potential deal breaker. 3 families claim IRC staff directed them to sign the inaccurate rental documents in order to get them into smaller and therefore cheaper apartments. The 3 families arrived late last year following a surge of refugees when new arrivals rose from an average about 250 a month in the early part of the year to 3 times that number by the fall. The IRC's San Diego affiliate declined an interview about these cases, but in an email, the local executive director denied his staff purposely omitted information on rental documents. He said their policy is to list all occupants on the lease. The IRC's national office sent KPBS a statement saying in part, "We are concerned about these reports and are investigating the situation to establish the facts." The federal government gives agencies like the IRC about $1,000 per refugee to cover that person's basic needs for their first few months. Finding affordable housing in San Diego can be tough for any low-income resident, but particularly for refugees who arrived with no credit and may have large families. University of Chicago lecturer Jessica Darrow studies refugee resettlement. In a phone interview, she said resettlement staff may have just been doing the best they could with what they had.
If that's the only solution that the refugee resettlement worker thought they had to offer the refugee family, then we aren't giving these refugee resettlement workers enough resources to work with.
Darrow says although federal funds have slightly increased over the years, she claims they haven't kept up with needs. Her paper on resettlement in Chicago found caseworkers at one agency routinely sacrificed housing quality for affordability. Mohammed Abdullah says he's still worried he could get kicked out of his apartment at any time. If that happens, he's not sure what he would do. But there are community members out there who are helping.
If we can recognize refugees as an asset in our communities, then we develop welcoming communities, and many of these problems can be solved, I believe, by the community, as long as the government is equally invested.
Tomorrow, we'll introduce you to a family that was asked to leave their apartment and tell you how the community went about finding them a new home. Taryn Mento, KPBS News.